So show me the way and I'll follow you. Show me the way, cause that's all I do. Take the leap of faith and I'll dive into my diamonds. I'm finding it still a fine light inside of you. Tell me that you want me, baby. That ice cold stare, I just wanna know you better. From 1 to 3, got me looking everywhere for you. Count the stars, you are the sun. Underneath my skin, and my bones are creeping in. I don't want this love to end. Underneath my skin, when I look into your eyes, see the miracle of life shining underneath your skin. Wake up in the morning to get a touch from your arm. No regrets, I can't forget the scent you had on. Fingernails, they tell the tales of sex, but you're gone. Now I wonder what's coming next in this song. So show me the way and I'll follow you. Show me the way, cause that's all I do. Take the leap of faith and I'll dive into my diamonds. I'm finding it still a fine light inside of you. Tell me that you want me, baby. That ice cold stare, I just wanna know you better. From 1 to 3, got me looking everywhere for you. Count the stars, you are my sun. Underneath my skin, I don't want this love to end. Underneath my skin, when I look into your eyes, see the miracle of life shining. Underneath my skin. Underneath my skin.
Welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. I am Michael the Fish Fisher here. We are here today for two matchups in the Gridiron Rivals Series. Usually this is against a team that Boise State will play on the football field, but the football team is off, so today we'll be playing Mizzou in Rocket League and League of Legends. Joining me on the desk are Lisa Jolly Malhas and Peyton Waiton Wilkin here for our best of 7 Rocket League matchup between one of the premier Rocket League programs, 2 of the top 4 in the CRL. So what should we expect tonight?
I'm certainly excited to watch this because Mizzou, we already saw yesterday, it wasn't streamed here, but they did qualify as one of the top 4 teams for CRL, which is huge. They're like top 4 Rocket League college teams in the nation right now, which is pretty impressive. Something interesting as well is that Boise State lost to a team, Nebraska, and Mizzou ended up beating that team, Nebraska, in order to qualify for CRL. So it's going to be interesting to see if Boise can prove themselves here.
So this is a high-level gameplay. So what should we be as the audience watching for? What can we sort of notice here? Because since this is 2 high-skilled teams, it's just going to be one mistake that's going to make the difference, right?
Right, yeah. With such these high levels of gameplay, it's just usually one mistake and the other team knows they see that mistake and they capitalize on it. Maybe it's a hole in defense or some sort of bump on rotation, and they always capitalize on it. So it's going to be some really high-level gameplay.
Should be a lot of fun here as we're just 30 seconds away from getting started here. Boise State and Mizzou in a scrimmage here. Best of 7, though. And finally, Waiting, just one last thought. How important is Game 1?
Game 1 is really important because it sets the momentum and sets the series for like the momentum of either team. Whoever wins Game 1, it puts them at a great advantage for the rest of the series because we very rarely see reverse sweeps.
So there you hear it from Peyton Waiton Wilkins there. You want to make sure you get Game 1 if you're Boise State taking on Mizzou, a very talented Rocket League team, one of the premier ones in the country qualifying in the CRL in Group 1 as we are about to hop in to Game 1 here between Boise State and Mizzou at the Game Pants Arena. If you want to come by and watch, you can come by at 301 South Capitol here in Boise. So for Boise State here, if you want to come support us, I heard there's going to be cowbells here. There's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of energy. The players want you to come down here. They're excited to get this game started here. So as you can see, the Mizzou players down on the screen that will be playing against their homeless baby blanks and chalks there for Mizzou. So for Boise State, going to be something they just want to take advantage of, as we heard from Waiton, win Game 1 and make sure they can avoid the reverse sweep.
They look a lot less excited than the Boise State players do currently. That's one of the big things about our Boise State team is they're always smiling. Something about Rocket League in particular. It's just a lot of happy players, whether you win or lose. But Boise State is definitely in a tricky situation. However, it is better to get the more difficult teams out of the way early on. That way you know exactly what to practice.
That is going to be interesting to see here. This is one of the, like we said, one of the best Rocket League teams in the country. You always want to practice against the best, see how you match up. Mizzou and Boise State could have faced the CRL, but unfortunately Boise State couldn't quite get past Nebraska, who Mizzou ended up beating. As we are going to hop into the first game here now, as Boise State is going to start with the advantage. LC Coral going to knock it down to Ozcat there. Chalks will push it away. Ace Pocket going to go for the touch there. It is matched by Chalks, now pushing it across field. LC Coral able to answer that, gets around Ethanol there. Chalks is able to push up. Ethanol is going to take out Ace Pocket. Blanks will push it up in the air. LC Carl is going to be the first one to get there, but Blanks still knocks it away. So Boise State on the defensive here. Ace Pocket and Chalk both for the ball. One gets a shot, one gets a save. Ozcat is able to get that save from LC Coro there. So Boise State now able to push it away here. LC Coro going to go down the mid, push it over to the right-hand corner there, but Boise State can't quite find the early aggression they are looking for here. So we're going to see Ace Pocket push the ball over to the left-hand corner. Nobody there as we see LC Coro getting some boots. Ozcat going to push it over to Ace Pocket. Nobody there as well. So Boise State just trying to mount something. Chalk's going to take that away from Ace Pocket. 3-on-2 here now for Mizzou. Ethanol going to be LC Carl. Ozcat, the only one back on defense for Boise State. Able to disrupt that shot, puts it up in the air. Ace Pocket able to get there. LC Carl takes out Chalks. Ozcat, is he able to capitalize? No, he's not. Blanks is going to get the save. So for Boise State, currently fending off everything Mizzou can throw at him.
And 1 minute into this game, it's a good sign. The amount of fight that we're seeing from Boise State is a lot better than we have been seeing in some of these matches that are overwhelmingly in victory towards the opponent there. So Boise State doing a much better job, in particular, I think, of focusing on the boost. Anytime they do end up losing one of those full boosters, they fall back. They go to a more defensive position here. LC Coro with almost a great save. Chalks is going to be credited with that shot.
You know, this play here, you can tell I was seeing multiple passing plays that Mizzou was trying to set up throughout this first minute of the game, and it really came down to that moment, and they finally were successful in setting one up there.
So Boise State going to be down early 1-0 here to Mizzou. The Broncos not able to mount much of an offense, but LC Coral's going to win the opening touch. Nobody there, though, so Ethanol will fall back and get the ball. Now LC Coral grabs the boost because he's going to try and challenge him. Knocks him off the dribble just a little bit, but not enough to disrupt him. Ethanol now stopped by Ozcat, but is able to retain the ball. Blanks and Ethanol both go for the ball. Ace Pocket got to get a demo on Chalks. All three Mizzou players going for the ball at the same time. That basically killed any offensive threat they had. Ethanol and LC Coral both going for the ball. LC Coral wins that challenge. Chalks is going to go up in the air, push it into the midfield. Now he's going to dribble it over Ozcat in the air. Ace Pocket, the last line of defense, comes out and stops that one. Ozcat now going to take the ball here, waiting for it, trying to dribble it. Will get it over Blanks there, tries to get over Chalks, isn't quite able to do it there, so Chalks able to push it down. Ace Pocket answers immediately. Ethanol will top it down to Chalks, though. It's going to be a one-on-one. Ozcat doing what he can to get out. He's just going to push it up in the air. Boise State barely able to get there, but they're still on the defense. We're going to see LC Coral run into Ozcat there at the very end. Chalks, I should say, able to stop that ball as well. He's going to go up over the goal. No Mizzou player there able to capitalize on that, though. LC Coral will miss the ball. Chalks once again able to center. Ozcat going to go for the aerial, hits it over Blanks, passes it down to Ethanol. Boise State just able to clear it and stay alive.
And the ball sits at almost a standstill there. Ace Pocket is able to send it towards Mizzou's defense. LC Coral with an aerial play, but Blanks immediately there to rebound that one. And now Mizzou has control, though. Ace Pocket is not going to allow that. But Ethanol says it is going to happen. So this is just a back and forth now, and a lot of that going on, which is good to see from Boise State. Ozcat actually bouncing off of the opposing player from Mizzou.
That was a lot of defense from Boise State in the first half of that push. They were playing so defensive, and then they finally pulled it back and got a counterattack and took advantage of Mizzou's lacking defense.
Boise State able to get the equalizer there here in game one. Best of 7. 2 minutes left on the clock. The Broncos able to tie it up there. LC Coral and Chalks both going to go for the ball. They will cancel out their touches. Ace Pocket able to push it down to LC Coral, though. That's a high centering pass, but Blanks is able to get it. LC Coral didn't quite have the angle there. Now we're going to see Blanks and Chalks going down. Ethanol hanging back. They're going to push it over to the right-hand corner there. Ozcat is able to answer. Passes it almost perfectly to Ethanol, but it was a little over him. It will actually get a shot on goal. Ethanol able to save that one. Chalks now going to try and push it around. LC Coral will answer that, but is immediately pushed down by Ethanol. Blanks going to go up for the high shot, does get a touch on it, and unfortunately he is able to score.
What a great shot. That one went more than halfway across the field, as we can see Ethanol hitting it. There was an assist as well, but a fantastic show of teamwork there from Mizzou.
Boise State now down 2-1 here with 1:43 on the clock, trying to find another equalizer this game. LC Coral going to take the ball here, not able to get around Blanks. He will put a centering pass in, but Chalks doesn't have any boost. He will fall back. Ozcat going to beat Ethanol up for the aerial mid-ball there, so Boise State does have the advantage, but Chalks disrupts Ozcat's dribble. No Bronco able to follow up. We see Ace Pocket go flying. Looks like he got shot out of a catapult there, so he wasn't even close to the ball. LC Coral is able to beat Blanks to the ball, but Chalks immediately there recenters it for himself. Can't quite play it off the wall as perfectly as he wanted to, so he's going to put it right into the right crossbar there. Ace Pocket just trying to push it away. Blanks will center it once again, but Ace Pocket able to immediately answer that as we see Blanks was trying to come off the wall there. Chalks will take a shot on goal. That one is high and right. Blanks and Ozcat able to both answer the ball. Ace Pocket will miss. Ethanol gets the centering pass. Chalks able to answer the LC Coral. So right now, Boise State just not able to get any pushes on the ball, not even in the Mizzou half since this half has started from the second goal. LC Coral will push it down. Chalks does get miss on the ball. LC Coral puts it around Ethanol as well, but Ozcat not able to follow up. We see Ace Pocket coming down here. 40 seconds left on the clock. Boise State needs the equalizer here in game one. Chalks and Ace Pocket both miss on the ball. Now Ozcat is able to get the save to keep Boise State alive. It is a 2-on-1, it looks like. Ozcat followed by Ace Pocket. We're going to see Chalks coming out of nowhere. LC Coral will fall back, trying to wait for the centering pass. Ace Pocket tries to center it there, and we do see it pushed off by Blanks. Blanks is going to go over the right-hand side. 30 seconds left. Boise State just trying to mount any kind of offense here as Ace Pocket is able to push it down to LC Coral, but Chalks immediately answers that, pushes it back away. Now Ace Pocket will stop that dribble, and Boise State just trying to hang on.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of pressure here come from Mizzou, except most of the time the ball is staying midfield, and we're not seeing many breakthroughs. Aside from this right here, that's a double commit on defense, and things like that, little mistakes like that, Boise State really needs to take advantage of.
3 seconds now left. Boise State trying their best. And we saw a few games yesterday where they were able to actually dribble that ball about 15 seconds after Zero had hit and make the goal on 2 of those 3 victories. But that will not be the case here tonight. Mizzou taking that first round.
So Boise State back behind it. Wait, what did you see in that first game there that Boise State could solve? It felt like they were always on their sort of back heels, basically always trying to find a counterattack against Mizzou and never really had sort of control of the game.
Right, they definitely were on their heels for most of that game, I think, but they definitely did have some pressure. It wasn't one way or another. They weren't getting destroyed. It was a very close game. And in fact, the way they actually ended up getting scored on to lose that game was from a miss on Mizzou's side. So they were ready for in case he had the shot, but he ended up just missing it, and the defense wasn't really expecting it. So sometimes whiffs can really be tactical in some way on offense.
And Boise State is one of those teams, I know that you had said that the first round really does matter, and this is a good place for Boise State to be because they tend to actually fail the first round, whether or not they're an overwhelmingly better team. So they actually kind of do a great job of getting a grounding of what is going on, of what their opponent can deliver, and maybe where their weak spots are, and then they really capitalize on it in the following rounds there.
Right, yeah, and we saw like Boise State against Air Force, they lost game 1, but they ended up winning the next 4 in a row. So yeah, they really turned it around. They do have a great ability to adapt and analyze the opponent's gameplay and then try and use that to their advantage.
So for Boise State, not able to get game 1, as we will jump in here to game 2. Boise State and Mizzou in Rocket League, best of 7, as we're going to see Ethanol push the ball down there. LC Coral going to put a centering pass. Nobody back from Mizzou, but Blanks will be able to be ace pocket to that ball, disrupt the goal there. Ozcat and Blank's going to go down here. Ace pocket goes a little bit in over pursuits there. He's going to hang back in the goal. Ethanol takes a shot. That is far right, though. Chalks will push it down. He had 4 shots last game, so he is definitely the offensive threat for Mizzou. Ace pocket going to miss that ball. Ethanol will push it down into the corner. He has no follow-up, though, so Ace pocket is able to sort of get it away. Blanks misses on the shot, tries to push it over to Chalks, who's dribbling it in midair, but I don't think he has any boost or any speed. LC Carl, though, able to barely disrupt that as Ozcat wasn't quite able to stop Blanks, so now Boise State once again just trying to find the answer. We're going to see a shot on goal here. That one is high. Now there's no goalie back for Boise State. Ozcat is able to save it, push it down to the corner. So for Boise State, they are able to stymie off Mizzou for now, but already the ball back in the Boise State half.
Mizzou keeping a goalie absolutely 100% all the time on their defensive side. Their ace pocket is trying to get this one out, but he doesn't have any boost at the moment. That corner boost being gone, the control definitely being in Mizzou's hands right now. Ace pocket with the demolition to potentially save that goal from going into Boise State's goal box. And now it is a fight for the boost. Blanks in control once more, but a good move and a good defense by Boise State.
Ace pocket there does get pushed off by Ethanol, so Boise State will have to regroup. LC Carl, though, and Chalks was perfectly waiting. Mizzou gets the first goal again.
You know, I was seeing throughout that first minute of the game, Boise State was on their heels for basically the entire time, but they didn't end up getting broken through. It was on a counterattack that then ended up getting scored on.
That seems to be the theme for tonight, unfortunately, for Boise State. But again, they adapt really quickly. 50-50 going in Mizzou's favor here. LC Coro can corral it around, though. Hopefully, if he's got the boost to. Otherwise, Mizzou is trying to line this one up. Ethanol taking out Ace Pocket for a couple seconds here. Ozcat does have a lot of boost and was able to push that one back towards Mizzou's defensive zone.
So now Boise State trying to find the equalizer here. Blanks is going to go down on a 2-on-1. Ace Pocket will disrupt that. Ozcat trying to do what he can where he isn't needed, but now Chalks will take a shot on goal over to LC Coral. Blanks is going to get a quick touch on that ball. It's going to go, Ozcat is just able to save it there. Boise State stays alive. Just 1-0 right now. Boise State just trying to fend off this Mizzou pressure as we see Ozcat get demoed by Blanks. Boise State just can't push this ball out of their own half. LC Coral's going to try. Ace Pocket's going the wrong way, though. He disrupts Ozcat, so now Boise State, a little bit of miscommunication there. Ace Pocket misses on the ball. Well, that one is centered. There's no Mizzou player there. Blanks will push it up for Ethanol, who takes a shot on goal, little wide as Ozcat does miss. So Boise State once again just trying to find any sort of offense.
I'm seeing multiple mistakes on defense and on offense here, but nothing's really turning into anything yet. Mizzou double committing a couple times, but then again, Boise State making some sort of defensive mistake at the same time to where they can't capitalize on it.
It's almost as though both teams is trying to just do retaliations, wait for something to happen, and then take advantage of a mistake that might be made. But because both teams are relying on this, they're both making quite a few mistakes at the same time.
That's right, yeah, and Boise State on their heels for basically most of this entire game again, but they're remaining very collected throughout this whole thing. They're playing good defense, communicating mostly well, and even when there is a mistake, Mizzou, it's not usually big enough to where Mizzou's going to capitalize.
One of the biggest issues as well that Boise State has had on some of these overwhelming losses has been boost control, and they've been doing a really good job of not going on a crazy play. LC Cora is going to corral that one, keep it out of the goal.
as Boise State trying to find the equalizer here, just a bit at 45 less. Blanks will put that up for Ethanol, but Ozcat and him both going to go for the challenge there. Bets it back up the air. Ace Pocket's going to knock it down to Ozcat, though, but Chalks will beat him to the ball. I don't think Ozcat knew he was there. He stuck it behind him. Chalks to get the shot on goal. He's going to play hero ball for 2-0 Mizzou.
I think that was a boostless. I think LC Coro here tried to do his best, but just could not get high enough to prevent that shot. And it was also a little bit to the left, our facing left here. So a minute 34, though, that's still more than enough time for Boise State to make up for this.
As we see LC Coro and Ace Pocket both go for the starting ball there. The 50-50 just dies in the mid, so Boise State is able to push it back for one of the few times today on the Mizzou side. Going to see LC Coro get a shot on goal there, but Chalks is able to stop it. Ozcat trying to answer it off the wall. He's going to bounce it off the wall, but that one's going to be just a little bit too high. Ethanol will be able to corral that. LC Coro going to take a shot on goal. Blanks waiting perfectly there for the ground ball. Ozcat now going to try and keep it down there, so Boise State able to put some pressure on keeping the ball in their half. LC Coro is going to push it in. Ethanol immediately enters. Now we see LC Coro come out the right side, push it down. No Bronco down there now. We are going to see them take the corner boost, so there's not a lot of boost left. 1 minute left. Ace Pocket's going to get the shot on goal. Ethanol just saves it, so Boise State has to find some way to get 2 quick goals.
They also have to make sure that their defense does not fail, as Mizzou can really put the nail in the coffin with the third goal here. LC Coro going to get a shot that is high and trying to get a play off of this rebound, as Boise State does so well. Ace Pocket again in the goal box. LC Coro jumping back to grab some more boost for this play, and look at that. Chalks actually jumping right over the ball, but Ace Pocket unfortunately sent that back towards Boise State side and may have ruined that play.
Boise State just trying to find something here. I think by our count, at least 5 shots there in those last 10 seconds that were all just a little bit high, as Mizzou's going to hit off the right crossbar. Ethanol's going to try once again, but LC Coro didn't have any boost, and Mizzou probably puts the dagger in there.
Once again, LC Coro really doing his best. He's in the right place at the right time as usual, but lacking that boost, which tends to be one of Boise State's bigger issues.
So Boise State now going to have to try for almost the impossible. 3 goals in 17 seconds. Can they even do that at this point?
It's possible. It rarely ever happens, especially at a higher level of play like this. Usually defenses know what to do when they have a lead like this, and I rarely ever see a comeback, especially with such short time.
Now at 3 seconds, that's where it gets. And there we go. Boise State really doing their best to take something back here. But 2 rounds is not victory for this. It is a best of 7. So we have at least 2 more. Boise State can push to make that 7 for sure.
Now in game 2, it felt like, especially on that first goal, Mizzou was just peppering shots. And so how do you handle that as a defense? Is it try and go for maybe a greedy demo? Is it just try and take all your boosts? What's the best way to sort of push off an attack that just is peppering shots for 2-3 minutes like we saw there?
Yeah, when you have so much pressure on you on defense, the thing you need that usually when you have so much pressure for so long is you're going to eventually run out of boost. So sometimes you have to take a risk, go out of rotation, take a little bit longer to get back to grab that boost, and eventually go back to net to be in time, hopefully be in time again to make the save.
I think we are going to see a replay here as Boise State. That was actually a goal, from Ozcat there. That was the equalizer at 1-1. Boise State, what they could there. They didn't score until almost 3 minutes in. So what did you see here for Boise State finally able to break through?
I saw it was a counterattack. Neither teams are really scoring a bunch off of just having so much pressure. It's usually a counterattack. So I think who's going to win these games is whoever catches the other team off guard most often.
And at the end of that game, we saw Boise State put like 5 shots in that was right crossbar, center crossbar, left crossbar. Right. Is that just how the ball bounces? Is there sort of maybe a third guy there who just didn't have any boost to follow up, or was that just bad shots? Unlucky shots, I should say.
Yeah, a lot of the time they were putting shots on, which is usually what you want. You're going to force them to make mistakes eventually, but it was just really good defense from Mizzou's end, and a lot of the time it's too risky for Boise State to push up even further on that.
So we are going to jump into game 3 here. Mizzou took the first one in a best of 7, but Boise State can still come back here as we're going to see LC Coro disrupt Mizzou once again, already down in the Broncos' defensive zone. So Boise State trying to push it away. LC Coro will do just that, pushes it down. Ozcat right behind him. LC Coro will beat Chalks for the ball. Ozcat goes for the shot. He unfortunately misses. Blanks is able to push it away from Ace Pocket, trying to come in on the 3rd layer of defense there. Ace Pocket will push it up. Blanks is taken out there, but Chalks is the only one there. So for now, Boise State back on their heels. Chalks going to dribble it over one man, but Ozcat able to be there. But unfortunately now there's no Bronco bat. The shot goes high. What are you seeing here from Boise State?
That was just a miscommunication from Ozcat and Ace Pocket. Ozcat did have the clear there, but maybe he didn't communicate that. He just got in the zones, tried to focus on making the mechanical play correctly, and it did end up in a double commit, but luckily his mechanics made up for it.
And luckily, there was only one member there as well to respond, who actually ended up missing the ball. I believe that was Blanks on that play. So almost a full minute, or sorry, more than a full minute in, and no goals. That is a good sign here for Boise State as they come in hot for the second half of these rounds.
LC Coro able to push that one away, so now Boise State can go on the offensive. It is a 3-on-1, but Blanks just able to disrupt that. Ace Pocket going to race him down the ball. He's going to put a centering shot in. No Bronco there. Unfortunately, now Ethanol is going to take a half-court shot.
Oh, my goodness.
And there was no Bronco back on defense.
Almost full field shot there.
Yeah,
that was full.
Yeah, basically all the way across the map. Like I'm saying, they're scoring goals not from a bunch of pressure, but from counterattacks, really.
From even just a clear, that was, I mean, a shot. Obviously, you're going to hit it towards the goal, but the objective there was just to clear it.
As we see LC Coro going to push it down again, so Boise State has to find the equalizer once again. Ace Pocket outplays the goalie. That one is going to go a little high. Blanks pops it off the wall, but unfortunately LC Coro did miss that follow-up shot. An open goal chance for Boise State. Ozcat and Ace Pocket now run into each other. A double commit by the Broncos, and Mizzou almost capitalizes there. I think that ball just skirted in front of the goal. Ace Pocket did get credit for the save. LC Coro tries to play it around Ethanol. That's not going to happen. Ace Pocket will pick it up. Blanks answers in the midfield here. Chalk's going to take a shot on goal. Ozcat running over to the ball, trying to outplay Ethanol there. He will just take the center boost first, so Ethanol has no boost now. Ozcat trying to play that ball off the wall, but we're going to see LC Coro come out instead. So for Boise State, trying to find the equalizer while still staying back on solid defense. Ace Pocket out of nowhere. I'm not even sure if he thought he was going to save that ball, but he barely gets to it. Ozcat able to push it over Mizzou now. So Boise State trying to stay on the offensive, but Blanks able to push it there. We're seeing Mizzou holding back with that third guy. How hard is it to get pressure?
It's very hard to get pressure, especially with such solid defenses like this. I'm seeing Boise State, they're making more mistakes, and I'm surprised they haven't gotten scored on more often because of it. But if I could tell them to fix one thing right now, it'd definitely be their communication. I'm seeing way more double commits this game than from previous games.
And that's normally one of Boise State's strong suits. There we go, trying to get off the crossbar, and it is going to be a little bit too far to the right. Ozcat there to follow it up, and that also goes too far to the right. Now 2 minutes coming down on the clock. We'll see if Boise State can turn it around.
We're going to see Ethanol pass it over there to Chalks there. It is a 2-on-1, but Chalks goes a little bit high, so LC Coro is saved. The rest of his defense can get back. Ace Pocket and Ozcat going to settle in the goal. LC Coro going to play it off the wall. He's going to push it down there. Chalks is waiting, though, so he will immediately answer, put it up right in the midfield there. We do see Blanks totally missed that one. Ace Pocket comes off the wall, but now he overcommitted. Ethanol does miss the ball as well, though.
A lot of scattered plays for sure. LC Coro with a great save. It seemed like once again he was low on boost. LC Coro may be able to make some of these clutch plays. A great save by Ozcat, who's just been on fire tonight. He's been doing a really good job of maintaining the boost. And while that communication between him and Ace Pocket might not be great, that means that if they really picked it up, they can turn this around and do so well. Ace Pocket with a miraculous save there and a demolition onto Chalks. Blanks, though, with an open goal, is going to get that one in. An assist from Ethanol.
Yeah, Ace Pocket making an incredible save, but he just couldn't quite get the second one. That was an incredible 50-50 from Blanks to finally force it in.
Boise State going to find themselves down 2-0 here in Game 3, trailing 2-0 in the series here, so they need to get 2 quick goals here with just over a minute left. Ace Pocket going to push it over to Ozcat, run Blanks off the wall and take his boost. Ozcat's going to get a shot on goal. Chalks will get the save. LC Coro going to try and pick a shot on goal. That was immediately into Ethanol, but it will count as a shot and a save. Now Ozcat's going to take the half-court shot. It looks like it's going to be a little bit high. Chalks is able to get there as well, so Boise State, once again, if the goal was just about 2 inches higher, Boise State might have 5 or 6 this game. Ace Pocket and Ozcat going to run into each other. Blank's going to come out of nowhere. Chalks now pushes Ace Pocket off the ball. Blank's going to try and hit Ozcat. Great way to see him there. LC Coro puts it up. Nobody there, so Chalks will answer. Ozcat going to center the ball, though. Ace Pocket didn't look like he had enough boost. He thinks there to commit, so unfortunately he'll have to fall off. Ethanol dribbles the ball right over him, shoots it over to Chalks, who's able to outplay LC Coro there. Ozcat is going to miss, and it looks like Blanks is going to tap that one in. Yes, he will.
Some really good attempts at making these crazy passes from Boise State, trying to get it to all 3 players, sometimes even back to another one. Blanks, though, really taking advantage every time so far. When these plays happen, it's an open goal for Boise State. So one mistake is all Mizzou needs.
That was an open goal, but I think Boise State was pressured. Can we say that's less communication and more they just knew they needed 2 goals and they were trying to score as quickly as possible?
Yeah, they were definitely playing more aggressive there. I do believe LC Coro would have taken more time to try and clear that properly rather than rushing it, but they do have to come back, like score 2 goals in like 30 seconds, so I don't really blame them for trying to play aggressive there.
We're down to the final 10 seconds here. Mizzou up 3-0. So Boise State going to have to do the near impossible here. Ozcat, though, trying to get a goal, pass it over to Ace Pocket, actually runs into him. Mizzou's going to push it up, so we are going to stay in overtime now until the ball touches the ground. Boise State had a couple of these goals, but unfortunately, Ozcat's going to play it off the wall and right into the ground. Mizzou will take game 3 as well.
Still another chance, though. Best of 7. That was round 3. So Mizzou taking all 3 of the first rounds. There is at least one more to come. And if Boise State can win the next one, even more Rocket League, which we always love.
So for Boise State, you talked about a communication. What did you see there that was sort of getting your eye where you said this is a communication breakdown for Boise State?
Yeah, I was seeing just mostly it was the double commits that I was seeing. And a big reason why because of this is it could be because Ozcat, a new player, he's relatively new to this Boise State squad. He's a freshman here. He's a rookie, so he doesn't have that chemistry with the team with his teammates yet. Because Cosmo normally would be in this position, but he's not here today. So Ozcat has taken his place. And
you can tell that he absolutely has the skill. But it has been these 3 players for quite a while now that have been playing together. LC Coro, Ace Pocket, and Cosmo Buster all playing last year for the last season, and so having a new player like Ozcat, as well as he might do in solo play, it does take a while, as we've seen with our players, to actually get to that level of communication, especially if you've spent your whole life playing only solo and that are thrown into this team environment that you have to excel at. It does take time.
For Boise State, trying to find a way to come back here. They are down 3-0 in the best of 7 Rocket League 2 Mizzou. Boise State, they once again just back on defense. Is this something where they almost need to try and overcommit to try and be on offense first, or do you like how they've been playing these early games? They just haven't found the goal.
I do like how they were playing the first and second game. It did seem like they were playing good defense for the most part, communicating well, not as many double commits, but it seems like they definitely have to change something to adapt. But I think in that third game, they changed something, and it just ended up bringing them more deficits than benefits, really.
So we're going to hop into game 4 here. Boise State needs to win this game to keep this series alive. Ace Pocket almost playing defense there. Ethanol will get credit for the save, as Boise State now once again is at least staying on the offensive for now. A couple shots early on the Mizzou goal. LC Caro and Chalks will run into each other. Ace Pocket gets it around Blanks. It's a one-on-one versus Ethanol, but unfortunately the ball a little bit quicker to Ethanol than Ace Pocket, so Boise State has to regroup. LC Caro now going to play it around Chalks and Ethanol. He's taken out of the play as he overcommitted. LC Caro going to try and put a centering pass in, outplays Chalks. Now we're going to see a double commit from Mizzou. Boise State unfortunately just couldn't quite get there as Ozcat goes for ball. LC Coro's going to take a shot on goal. It's going to hit immediately off Chalk. So unfortunately for the Broncos, they just aren't able to get a great shot on goal, but this time the ball is in the Mizzou half a lot more. Ozcat immediately gets pushed off the ball by Blanks. Chalk's going to push it over there now, but it will just go up in the air. LC Coro actually going to take a shot on goal, going to push it down the left side. We see Ace Pocket going over there. He decides to go for it off the wall. He left the boost up there for Blanks. That might be critical there. Ozcat, not enough boost. He hesitated just a little bit. I don't think he thought he had enough to get up in the air, and we see he didn't as he's already down to 0. Does take the full boost, though, for Boise State. I like this, though. They're much more on the aggressive this time.
They've got so much pressure on them that just the defense of Mizzou is so powerful, so collected, so strong. They're not double committing very much, and even when they do, it's not that big of a mistake. Like Boise State isn't ready to capitalize.
And Ozcat, who has been so good at keeping an eye on his boost, was down to 0, only got one small one, and still maintained his position on the defensive side until there was somebody able to rotate down. So they're really committing somebody to stay towards the goal, and that proves it. Ace Pocket going to take that one.
That was just a solo play, really. LC, yeah, that was an unassisted play. He just powered it in. There was no one in defense behind. A little bit of a late commit from Mizzou, and it cost them, really.
That might be just what Boise State's needed. The first time in 4 games, they've got the first goal, so now hopefully they can stay on the offensive. Ozcat is going to push off that 50-50 ball. A little bit of a win. LC Coro going to take a high shot on goal. Ace Pocket trying to answer. He unfortunately just went wide right, so Chalks is able to push it down, but Boise State stays on the aggressive. Ozcat going to push it into the left side here. He's going to put up a centering pass for Ace Pocket. Unfortunately, not trying to get high enough. Ace Pocket, unfortunately, just out of position, able to take out his own shot there. So unfortunately for Boise State, canceling out their own shots. Chalks, a high shot on goal. That one's going to go wide right. Ozcat now gets the dribble. Immediately answered by Ethanol. That's going to be a high shot on goal. Ace Pocket is able to get the save. I think LC Coro might have used some boost there. Something to keep an eye on as he stays in goal. Chalks is going to take LC Coro out of the play. Ace Pocket, though, is going to push it down.
You see that one player on Mizzou going for the bump there. I believe it was Chalks, and it would have been a very good play, but there was no other teammate ready to take advantage of it and follow it up, hopefully take the score in that hole on defense. But it would have been a good play, but they just didn't have someone ready for it.
It's just like they were just bullying almost at that point.
Right.
We even saw the pull into the back of the goal of just, hey, you're not going to leave here. Just don't play the game kind of thing coming from Mizzou. So they are showing that they can be even more aggressive. Chalks shooting another high shot. Ace Pocket going to get a save and a full clear here. Nobody to follow it up, but Ace Pocket manages to get there before any members of Mizzou.
LC Coro, unfortunately, not quite able to put that ball down. Chalk's going to basically try and dribble it himself right over to Blanks, but a great save by Ozcat for Boise State to maintain this 1-0 lead with just 2 minutes left. Ozcat looks like he did get the full boost there in the corner. He's going to try and dribble it down. It is a 1-on-3. He able to get it around Blanks. Doesn't have much of a follow-up and no boost, so he's immediately going to fall back. Ethanol puts it over. A great pass basically to Ozcat. What a position there. Blanks trying to dribble it around him. Ozcat realizes that, plays it immediately off the wall, trying to play it off Chalks. Chalks will answer off the wall, though, setting that ball way up into the sky. Now it looks like Blanks is going to get a wide shot on goal. He's going to try and follow it up. Ethanol, but Blanks is there. And unfortunately for Boise State, they didn't look like they had a goalie or he got bumped out.
Ethanol going in a little too hot here. As we can see, he actually ends up shooting too soon, but Blanks was immediately there to follow it up. So a good assist from Ethanol.
For Boise State, that unfortunately is not what you want to see. Now they've got to get another goal on this stingy Mizzou defense. 1-1 here in Game 4. Ace Pocket going to push it down. Broncos have been much more on the offensive this game. LC Carl going to follow it up. We see Ozcat waiting for the setup. There is no Mizzou goalie, but Ozcat committed too soon. He was a little too over-aggressive there. Puts that ball right into the right post. Ace Pocket down there all alone as we see Ozcat falling back, trying to get that boost. LC Carl's going to steal that pass away. The Broncos once again staying in the Mizzou offensive zone. Chalk's trying to put it up. Ozcat will fall back. Ace Pocket immediately cancels that dribble, goes for the challenge there. He's going to set it up there. LC Coro's going to put it down into the corner, knock Chalks off the ball. We're going to see Ozcat go for the ball here. That ball's going to bounce off the ground, but a little bit left. Unfortunately, Ace Pocket does get the boost. He's now going to go cover the balls. Chalks, I think, waited for his teammate. There was nobody there. LC Coro answered by Blanks, though. Boise State is just putting so many shots on goal, but now they're overcommitted. It's a 2-on-1, but Ozcat does have the angle. He is able to stop it. Now they're going to push it down. It's a 1-on-1. Ethanol gets the ball first, but it's a bad touch. Ozcat's going to put a centering pass in. Blanks is there first, though, for Boise State, trying to find this second goal as we're down to 30 seconds left.
Mizzou is getting there just before Boise State on all of these pivotal plays, and there's a fantastic job. And LC Coro being accredited with that save. That was insane. Ace Pocket now has the ability to dribble this one down. He's going to bump Chalks out of the way, but leave the ball behind. LC Coro with a shot on goal. Chalks, the savior. Ozcat is trying to line this one up, as we can see Ace Pocket in the back, trying to set himself up as well there for a shot and pick up a little bit of boost along the way. 10 seconds now on the clock. If this does go into overtime, it is a first shot win. 5 seconds now. Ethanol making an aerial play. Will it be enough? It does not look like it unless there is some crazy dribbling about to happen. And there we go now, overtime.
Boise State, as you said, next goal wins, Jolly. So Boise State just needs to find one in the back of the net, which has been so hard, but Ace Pocket's going to take it across the court. Blanks is just barely able to get there. Boise State thought they had won 5 seconds into overtime, but now they've got to get back on defense. It's Blanks versus LC Coro. He barely puts it off the wall. Chalks is going to get a second shot. That one's going to go far left, though. Boise State almost overcommitted, but they're able to stay alive.
LC Coro making so many clutch, incredible saves for Boise State here, just back on his heels, but still somehow managing to not keep himself in an awkward spot, putting himself in a good spot to make the save.
Once more, Boise State, the further in they go, the better they get. Oh no, LC Coro going just a little high on that one, and Chalks is going to be able to go over the head of Ace Pocket there.
That was an incredible mechanical play from Chalks. Goes beneath the first defender and above the second. Ace Pocket just not ready. Thought LC Coro was going to be able to get some sort of touch there, but unfortunately he wasn't.
Boise State, unfortunately, will fall in Game 4 in overtime 2-1. That means Mizzou will get the sweep of this best-of-7 series here. So what can we take away, though? That was a very close game, almost all 4 games of that series.
Yes, those games were really close. Although Mizzou, I'd definitely say they were the more consistent team in that series. The games were very close, but they definitely won. Like, they won all 4. It was a sweep. But if you look at it in the books, it looks like Mizzou was just dominating the whole time. But if you really look at the gameplay, it was really back and forth, especially in that last game.
And while we normally see LC Coro and Ace Pocket, we do have Ozcat as part of actually a second Rocket League team that we have here at Boise State. So you mentioned Cosmo Buster earlier actually being the captain of the team and not being there for those games. That potentially means that the next fight up against Mizzou will go in Boise State's favor because they'll have a little bit more of a consistent communication route there. But Ozcat, so much potential to be just the new star on this team.
for Boise State, not able to get it. So, of course, when you lose, there's always a takeaway. Waiting, what do you say Boise State's going to watch this replay and they're going to say, oh, we should have done this? Or what do you think they need to work on most after this?
I think it was definitely the double commits. There were some mechanical mistakes in there, but especially in that last game, I was seeing Ace Pocket rotate more in front of the defense more often than he normally does. I think that's something that he should work on. Oscat mainly communicating, and LC Cora, I think it's just he did mostly fine for that last game with those incredible saves, but I think it's just all around for him. And each player really has their own thing to work on. I don't think it's as much as a team thing as more of just individual players have to work on their separate things.
For the team.
Yeah,
right. Yes.
So Boise State unable to get that one there in Rocket League. So unfortunately, we do have more games coming up against Mizzou. We do have League of Legends here at 7 o'clock. As I thank you guys, Jolly and Waiting, for being on desk with me here. Hopefully Boise State could get it next time. But that was a lot of fun, though. That was a lot of fun watching great Rocket League.
That was fun, yeah. Those games just so close. I can't get over it. It's so fun.
I was absolutely expecting much more shots, much more goals. There were a lot of shots,
right,
but many more goals for two teams like that. So great to see Boise State continuously excelling.
So we thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I said, there is more esports coming down here at the Game Pants Arena. Boise State and Mizzou will be playing in League of Legends here at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. I am Michael the Fish Fisher. Thank you, Lisa Jolly Mulherns and Peyton Waiton Wilkins, for joining me on set. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back with a in-between show and then League of Legends next.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am not Daniel Glovely Clock. I am Doc Haskell. And this is AFK, Away from Keyboard. This is Boise State's super special show where we talk about all sorts of things, and we talk to all sorts of people. Today, we're going to talk with Kevin Reap, who is the director, head coach, if you will, of Mizzou. That's Missouri, by the way, for those of you who weren't paying attention when the Animaniacs were doing their thing. He is an amazing guy, and he's a special guest here. Welcome, Kevin. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Doc. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you bet. Okay, let's get right into it. CRL Qualifier 1 was last night, and the Mizzou Rocket League team made it into, well, the top 4 spots, defeating Nebraska. Can you talk a little bit about their rise to get through this first qualifier and make it in their first year into the national championship hunt?
Absolutely, yeah. So our Rocket League team, they've been in official practice for a little over a month, and it didn't take but a couple of days before we realized that we had a pretty special team here at Mizzou. We spent the last couple of weeks doing some tournaments here and there, winning some tournaments here and there, and then last night was our first big chance to see what we were about and to show the world what we were about. We rolled through the bracket. We played Texas A&M, Kansas State, Missouri State, and then Nebraska was the big match at the end. And went all 5 games, so edge of our seat, but we ended up winning game 5, 6-0, actually.
Well,
so,
you got to give a little credit to Boise State, because we also faced them in the bracket, I believe, a game before you or something like that. We softened them up. They were really exhausted.
They were tired. Sure. That makes sense. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, lucky we didn't meet in the bracket, but we will tonight, won't we? Rocket League teams on stage in this cool event that's probably already happened. Who's going to win?
Wasn't it a lot of fun? I bet it's going to come down to it. I can't make a decision. It'll probably be game 5. I would see Mizzou maybe making a last-second goal, probably, to take it.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see how it goes and see how accurate your prediction is. 5 games would be absolutely fantastic. As you guys look ahead, you'll be one of 4 teams. They'll pick 12 more. It could be one of the Boise State teams as well on Saturday. How far do you think you're going to be able to go in the CRL?
I think our team, from what I've seen, there's no reason why we're not going to be one of those top 8, top 4 teams that will have a chance to win the whole thing at the end. I really do think we'll be one of those last teams standing.
Well, that's awesome. Big things happening here. One of the big things happening for you is that you're one of 12 teams selected for the Overwatch Invitational, the special collegiate invitational by TESPA. 12 teams selected. All other teams have to play through a qualifier process to be able to make it into that. So what is it like as a first-year program with no Overwatch history? What's it like to be accepted? How did you get accepted to the invitational?
Absolutely. I like to tell people that we got accepted because I'm very good at applications, is what I say. But really, in reality, this team, the team that we put together, when they were visiting campus in February and March and kind of making those recruiting visits, we told them that we were going to set a program. We're going to create a program that was going to set the bar high and try to accomplish things that haven't been accomplished yet. And when a school like Mizzou does that, we're able to really get a lot of attention from across the country. And I think the Invitational is exactly that. So we've been talking the talk for the last 10 months since we announced Mizzou Esports. And now we get a chance to actually walk the walk and show the world what we're capable of doing.
Where's the strength in that team? Where's the real anchor players?
Anchor players. I think that what you'll find with our team is that we have a lot of students that a couple of them played together. A couple of them were solo queue masters. They worked their way up the ranks playing by themselves. We had some tier 3 experienced players. And when you put them together, we have so many different backgrounds that mesh really well. And they're able to teach each other different things and kind of come at Overwatch from different angles. So tonight, I think you'll probably see a little bit of, or last night you saw a little bit of all of our students were able to jump in and kind of show what they were able to do in the game.
Very cool. Well, it's going to be exciting to see. I know we're going to get each other in the round robin at the very least. And, of course, we played last night, and everybody forgets how that went. We'll figure it out. It's up there somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
You have a brand new first-year program on your campus, and you've been instrumental, as many directors, many of our colleagues have been, in championing the idea, pushing it forward, and getting support. So now that all of that is out of the way, what has the reception been like on your campus? And keep in mind that Mizzou also shares Columbia, Missouri with Columbia College, one of the top esports programs in the nation. Your school, of course, being much larger. What's that been like?
It is incredible when you look at the state of Missouri and the esports industry as a whole, how much of it has actually come from this small state in the Midwest. But it is pretty cool too that Columbia College is just a mile up the road from us and has dominated in League of Legends over the last couple of years. So when a school like Mizzou jumped on board, there were already a lot of people in this community that had an idea of what collegiate esports was, and we just kind of, what we're doing is trying to take it to the next level of what a school in the SEC, a Power 5 school, what that can be, what that can look like for other schools. So it's been a tremendous reception that we've had. Students, alums, recruits, potential students, everybody's extremely excited about where we are right now. And the success that we've seen just in the last month is a small taste, I think, of what this program will become.
How many of those conversations have you had where people come in and say, really? We're doing video games? Have you had that much on campus?
Just probably every week we have one of those conversations with somebody, maybe an alum that's come back to visit, or maybe a parent of a student. But it doesn't take but a walk through this facility and to meet some of the players that we have for them to really get an idea of what esports can do for a college student and what it can provide them and what it can provide the campus.
Okay, well, those are some pretty good answers, and I'm sure people are excited to hear that. All right, so this is, as you and I discussed many months ago, a very different kind of animal. You've played high levels at different sports and things like that, but what are some of the things that you have discovered as an esports leader on your campus that you didn't know coming into this? What have been some of the surprises, good and bad?
Oh, there's been, I've learned at least a handful of things every single day since we've gotten started. I've been at the University of Missouri for 9 years. I was a student here, and then I was with the marketing staff as well. So I've been at it for a while. I had some experience with recruiting and talking to parents and talking to students. And to do that and then also develop a program at the same time, to say it's time consuming is a bit of an understatement. But what is amazing is that to have the opportunity, a month ago when the students moved in, to walk in and watch them open up their computers and set up the facility and see their faces, and then watch them tell their parents about how excited they are. It makes it all extremely worth every single second that we've put into this. It's crazy to think that the past 10 months have been easily the hardest that we've ever worked to get where we are right now. And when you think about it and take a step back, we're really just getting started. We have so much more work to do, so many more things we're going to learn. So luckily we have schools like Boise State where we can look at, and I can call you and ask you how the heck to do certain things, and you're able to point me in the right direction, which has been tremendous, because there's certainly those challenges that will come up. And
you guys are doing a fabulous job. Have you had that jaw-dropping moment where you've had a recruit that didn't know about your esports program come in and see it?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And then we also have the jaw-dropping moment where students on campus that is remarkable at Overwatch and didn't know that we had a program. And so we've had some of those stories as well, which is pretty awesome to see.
That is awesome. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here in just a second, but I want to get you out of here on this final question. What is the most exciting thing that you've been able to do so far? Real quick, you only got about 10 seconds.
Oh my gosh, the most exciting thing. I would just, it sounds
it's talk
lame
to me.
say
The right answer is right in front of you. It's talk to me.
That makes sense. That's where I was getting at. That's where I was going to
okay.
go.
It was just going to take you too long. All right. Well, thanks to everybody for joining us. Thank you, Kevin. We'll see you real soon.
Thanks, Doc. I appreciate it.